first one, it was a quick one. We had a 3-0. Big game for UH Charger Blue, but down the barrel, we have an exciting one today between two teams that there's some rumor mill running around. Maybe these two teams might have scrimmed each other. It might have been a close one. And this could be a close game as well. Ascent versus Catalyst down the barrel. I'm excited to look at this game. How you feeling, man?
I feel the exact same way, Jumpany. I mean, taking a look at these two teams, 413 Catalyst, being able to hold their own against the top three that we have sitting up there, being 413 Havoc, the WVU Mountaineers, as well as 413 Nightshade, and Ascent needing some time to really come out and show how much can they do, what is their potential, and they're starting to slowly but surely climb up in their schedule onto the Mount Olympus, if you will, and slowly but surely going up against tougher and tougher opponents, and slowly we will find out if they're worthy of coming into the finals of this tournament.
Yeah, speaking of teams that have had tough schedules, I know Catalyst played Havoc. That was not an easy game for them. They also were missing someone out of their starting lineup. I know, um, when playing possibly the hardest competition in the tournament. So, Havoc or Catalyst has certainly had a hard schedule. We're seeing Ascent getting some good matchups now. I do believe Ascent has had a match against WVU, if I remember correctly. Um, However, yeah, Ascent gonna get a good matchup here today. Both of these teams have a good matchup. I'm actually excited because in my mind, these two teams should be somewhat close to each other based on how we've seen them perform against other teams. This could be a really close match. However, in the chat, clearly, we have some fans that feel like it could be a 3-0 either way.
Really taking a look at this, Ascent popping the 3-0. I mean, that could be absolutely ginormous. That could be really huge. But taking a look at the fixtures for this week, 413 Havoc going up against 413 Nightshade. Very close game. I think we both can attest to that. But Havoc
Wow.
coming out with the victory at a very lofty 3-2, and UAH Charger Blue securing the win just a few moments ago against 413 Riot. And then we will have Catalyst coming on, but then Potatoes will be going up against 413 Havoc tomorrow, as well as Ascent versus 413 Catalyst. Catalyst has 2 games this week.
Cool.
It's going to be a bit interesting, and we
I
will
think
have
actually, I think actually Ascent versus Catalyst is happening right now. I think Catalyst versus New Haven is tomorrow. I believe. I think you said Catalyst versus Ascent was, or did you? Oh, you were talking about in terms of like on the list. Oh, look at me, dude. Look at me.
to.
I look like just the worst. I mean, I was being so critical. I was just so wrong. Yeah, no, yeah,
You're fine, man. You're fine. We all understood what you meant there.
But yeah, in terms of schedule, Catalyst playing today and tomorrow, so having that back to back could be rough for them, but also could be big for them. They could thrive there. Really excited to see what they do because coming off of one game, I mean the games are a day apart, so obviously with plenty of time to rest. I really think it could be big for them, just coming fresh off of another game the day before. But obviously, if something were to happen, right, and they have a rough game today, it could maybe not have them in the perfect mindset going into their next game tomorrow. Obviously, Havoc playing tomorrow as well. So those will be good games you guys are definitely going to want to check out. But before we get to tomorrow, we got one more game left today, and I'm very excited because this one could be close. These teams have scrimmed each other before, so we know that it could be a really close one if it goes similar to how we've seen it go in the scrim.
Yeah, and taking a look at the standings for this week, um, going to be 413 Havoc, WVU Mountaineers, and 413 Nightshade going to be securing those top spots, being very close together in win percentages. But then you start to take a look below that, and it starts to get a little more dicey. 413 Catalyst with a 3-2 hold right now, but with a map differential of 2. Really not that far behind Nightshade. If they can 3-0 Ascent, that is going to be a huge boost in their placement. But Ascent is kind of thinking the exact same thing. It's going to be the battle of the middle of the pack today for Ascent versus Catalyst, and then Riot still not being able to really keep that up. But I have my faith in them in that game. But I do believe that they can continue to improve and then show up for the next game. What do you think about these standings, Jumping?
Yeah, these are exciting to look at. I mean, obviously, it's been really back and forth. The top three teams, as we've said, haven't been beaten by anyone outside of the top three. And that's a big thing we could look to crack through. Also, I just want to say, Edgy, I was talking about your message too. I was talking about both of those messages at the same time. Again, the chat feels very strongly that it could be a 3-0, possibly either way, either for Ascent or Catalyst, and that could really big change up these standings. It could hugely affect. I mean, just imagine. Let's look right now. If Catalyst were to 3-0 here, they would be. I mean, that would actually put them above Nightshade. That would be crazy, considering again, right now those top three teams haven't been beaten by someone outside of it. That would actually kind of destroy what I've been saying. If Catalyst were to win today, yeah, I believe they would be above Nightshade. So, just that kind of stuff, could be really huge for our standings. But I believe we are about to go in to our Rogue Power rankings here very soon. All right. We're going in here to our Rogue Energy Power rankings. Obviously, we actually had some change up a little bit last game. We had to change production, so we're looking at the unupdated ones, but also, regardless, there weren't very many changes. We see a Nightshade. We've had Nightshade move up to the S tier, possibly, and I think that's a very well deserved up there. But it does make sense seeing Catalyst so close to them right now. How Catalyst could win today and move up and ahead in the standings, where maybe they might not be ahead in the power rankings, but Catalyst would still be looking really, really strong there. Um, they've had a tough schedule. It hasn't been easy for them. So, been a really good get. Again, I would put Nightshade back up in the S tier as we had. Um, I think given that Ascent versus Riot game, we moved some other things around, but I believe for the most part, yeah, we had Ascent in B tier even. Um, Potatoes was top of C tier. New Haven, they kind of sit in between Potatoes and Riot right now. It's kind of hard to tell where a lot of this C tier really goes. Meaning we'll get a pretty good look at the B and A tier. Going to be cleared up probably between Catalyst and Ascent today. Red Barrel, what do you think about our standings so far?
So these particular power rankings, we're taking a look at the updated list. I still feel like they stand true. You have that S tier, which is I don't want to say too far away from the A tier. Catalyst still
Yeah.
has the potential to be bump that seat away from Nightshade, just depending on how the game goes with Ascent today. It's really all determinant on this game. Each individual game shakes up everything, and it's amazing. But I do feel like that these power rankings are starting to be a little bit more accurate, a little bit more tailored. So, with that being said, we need to talk about this game today. Jump Penny,
Mm-hmm.
we have to cast our predictions.
I think this is going to be a close one. I think either way it could go, but at the end of the day, I'm going with what I personally think is the upset today. I think Ascent is going to take it home. I think Ascent has something special brewing for us, and I think we're going to get to see it on stream today, especially after, we know they like to look for scrims. We know they like to look for some kind of tactical advantage, which is obviously strongly encouraged in this type of competition. So I'm going to go with Ascent today.
You know, I'm gonna have to countercall you there. I'm gonna have to say that Uh, 413 Catalyst. I believe in my 413 brethren here. It seems too good. It seems too good to be true. This is a match made in heaven for 413 Catalyst versus Ascent, and Catalyst wins these all day. The ability for the main tank roster that Catalyst has and the synergy that they have between their supports and their tank line, I feel like will really carry this. And then, of course, they've got some pretty decent McCree players in the form of Karsu as well as Synox. So I got full faith in 413 Catalyst and coming into this game.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you. Catalyst looks strong. And I think it would certainly be the underdog prediction to go with Ascent. That being said, I'm confident in it. I am by no means just calling them because they're the underdog. I do think Ascent has a really, really strong chance to take this one away today. Um, we have our pre-match interviews coming up. And first, I'm going to go ahead and take this interview with Edgy. We're going to have in here for Ascent first. And then after that, we'll be having an interview from Catalyst, Me98, their main tank. But first, let's get Edgy in here. Let's see exactly how they think they're going to help their team out the most today. Coming in, I believe on the support line, Edgy is, if our lineups are correct. I'm going to bring Edgy in here very shortly. And here we have someone about to go into a game, Edgy, for Ascent. You're going into a game today where maybe you guys, might be considered the underdog. So any words for Catalyst, who are a pretty strong team here? And if Catalyst, they're looking to come into a win today. Do you have any words for them?
Not really. I just want to have a good,
I respect it. I respect it. No, humble attitude, yeah. Well, another question for you guys. One thing I know is, you guys like to look for scrims. You guys like to analyze yourselves. One thing that I would take from, a team that likes to look for scrims with other team is that, you guys are willing to be critical, willing to make changes and be really adaptive. And I think that's big for an Overwatch team. How would you guys say your strengths are as far as adapting and learning through scrims? You guys think that's something you guys do especially well over other teams?
Yeah. One way we adapted actually was we during like our scrim that we had against Catalyst the other day. They were like, as a joke, they were like, "Hey, you want to off roll?" And basically, we did that for one map, and now I'm playing support. So
wow,
for our team today.
Wow. Okay, so we have some interesting things going on here, some swap ups, and I'm excited to see what you guys pull out here. Down the barrel, any questions for Edgy before we let him get back and prepare with his team?
Yeah, absolutely. So Edgy, it is an interesting choice. We've seen DPS players in Overwatch go towards the more supporting side. So using that mechanical skill, being able to take a little bit more of a broader look at the game. So how do you feel like this change will be affecting your team? Do you feel like the tempo is going to change a little bit with a little more aggressive push, or are you playing a little bit safer back on the loins? How has this changed affected your team?
Well, I feel like as a DPS player, like I become a little bit like greedy because I really want to, get the kills off or whatever.
Sure.
And the difference between me and Bazinga, he's been a support player like his whole Overwatch career or whatever, and we have way different play styles, so I think we're gonna be more of a aggressive team tonight.
There you go. All right, that's what I like to hear. Get some flash in there as well. You never know. I can't begin to guess what kind of heroes you're going to be playing, but one of the things that I expect is to see your name in that kill feed on the positive side, of course.
Okay.
So we will definitely be looking out for that. Edgy, thank you so much for your time, and please go ahead, get back with your team, and have a great match today.
Thank you.
All right, Edgy is out. We're going to be bringing Me98 here down the barrel for another exciting interview. He should be up shortly.
Yeah, no, taking a look at Me98, who alternates for the main tank spot onto the Catalyst roster. He's a playmaker, man. He knows how to hold it down, but he knows how to press Q like the best of them. And other than that, can hold down some pretty good spots. And speaking of the devil, hello, how you doing, Me98?
Yo, what's up? Not doing too bad.
Good to hear. Jump Benny, why don't you lead this one off?
Hey man, how's it going? I'm really excited to see you guys play. Obviously, I think Red Barrel is sort of throwing me to the wolves here because I predicted Ascent in this matchup. So, what do you want to tell me as a caster that predicted against you guys? What do you think gives you the edge in today's matchup?
Well, when we were scrimming yesterday, or I guess it was Tuesday, I think Bazinga was their carry. Now that Bazinga's not here and Edgy's on the support, I think it's gonna be pretty easy.
Dang, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, with the swap in Catalyst, you guys clearly feel like you have the advantage here. Obviously, as we've been hearing from you and Edgy, you guys have scrimmed. excited to see how that can kind of play into that. I think in a way that's the kind of stuff that sort of can develop small little rivalries once teams have played each other even more than once. So I just want to ask, because you're coming in, on this main tank role usually. I know Catalyst has sort of changed things up. You've been on the off tank occasionally, but who do you think best enables you on this team? Whenever you're in with Catalyst on that main tank, who do you look for to really enable you and get you in a position best? Who else on your team would you give a little shout out to here?
Really, this entire team is filled with incredible people, and it's so hard to give it to one person. But if I had to give it to one, it'd definitely be Than. He's just does so much on the Baptiste with lamps and immortality. Well, same thing, but lamps and windows, and it just brings so much and enables me to do so much too.
Yeah, I think those lamps are really big. Obviously, as a Ryan player, I understand how that map can have a huge role down the barrel. I'll throw it to you before we let Eric Me98 get back with his team.
Sure. So, Me98, I'm taking a look, and you guys are my champions for the day. So know that you've got someone on your side for sure. But how do you guys plan to decisively take this one? Like, is there anything that you feel that you learned from that scrim that's just something? There's a little chink in the armor that you found. What can you tell us?
Well, the plan going into pretty much all of our games is play our game to the best of our ability, and we're going to adapt and do what we need to do. But if we're being honest, the Scrim Tuesday was a little bit of a meme. We had a lot of fun, so we're just going to go in and play our normal stuff.
Okay, good. So a little bit of banter between the teams before they actually get together. I like it.
Of course.
I like it. All right. So the last question that I'll leave you with is, how have you personally been preparing yourself for this game? Is there anything in particular that you've done in the past week to up your game?
I like to look at the enemy main tanks and just assess their play and look at what the rest of their team is doing to help enable the main tank. And then I just look at what I can do to stop that and shut that down.
Understood. Thank you for giving us a little insight into that Reinhardt brain, or the main tank brain rather. But we will definitely be letting you get back to your team, and good luck on the match today.
Perfect. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Back to the team to get ready for this exciting match we have coming up. I know these teams are rearing and ready to go, especially after their first scrim down the barrel. They're going to be hot going into each other today for sure.
Yeah, and I think now we still have a player missing for Ascent, unfortunately. So we are going to be moving to a brief 3-minute intermission in the meantime. Give us some time to make sure that he gets here on time, and then hopefully we can start the game briefly after that. So with that being said, do not forget to subscribe to this Twitch channel. It really helps us produce more Overwatch content like this and keeps the production value just as great as you see it right now. Our production team has been making great strides in figuring out what works, what doesn't, and if you guys see the fruits of our labor for sure. If you like what you see, please be sure to give us an Amazon Prime sub if you're just sitting on one, or just any support that helps. If you miss any of the VOD today, or if you had to leave out and you want to be like, man, I really wanted to watch that UAH Charger Blue versus the 413 Riot game today, then we'll be putting that up on our YouTube channel at 413e.com/YouTube. Anything else, Jump Penny, before we go to a quick little intermission?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Make sure you guys check that all out, and thank you guys so much for stopping by this match and the last match. It means a lot to have you guys here watching. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back. Short 3-minute intermission. We will be right back. everybody? Welcome back. 4-3 CS. We have another exciting match. I'm Jump Penny with my partner Hawkshaw here. Very excited, guys.
Yeah, the nanos are pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was here now, I'd probably kiss him.
Oh yeah, of course.
Those ultimates were built faster than someone would get canceled on Twitter for saying K-pop sucks. That was a scrappy fight if I've ever seen one.
Here we go. MJ Reyes is maybe reporting in Gen Chat that he's drinking a 2-liter. Here we go.
Indeed, what's going on?
Not much is going on. I know that what's about to be going on is a very exciting match between two of the top teams as far as the standings are concerned. How do you guys feel about Nightshade going in this matchup?
We're not too concerned. We're hoping for a quick 3-0 because I got a date with the suspect's mother after this at around let's see, 9 o'clock, so
9
Eastern
o'clock.
time. So I'm hoping for a quick 3-0. So I gotta catch this date. I'm taking her to. She's a classy girl, so she wants to go to Longhorns.
While making the great escape through the mini room and being back with his team to again keep doing up the DPS. Shadow comes in but is blocked by their own wall from Edgy. Unfortunate.
And they do it again. MJ Reyes. Look who's closer to Shatter. Look who's closer to Shatter. It's MJ Reyes. CQ1 has some ground to cover here.
And don't forget, from what we saw last time, this is a defensive team. I don't know what it is, but they're just better on the defense than they are on the offense.
Oh, he can't stop somebody!
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, of course that barrage is going to be online too very soon, but then the only support ult that we're going to see, it'll be interesting to see what kind of difference that can make as the high noon comes out immediately. There's the grab, there's the window, there's the immortality field, but the barrage is huge, gets up 5K, oh my god!
What a huge play by Icy there, cleaning up the rest of the team through a grab and a window and an immortality.
Your ranked games, don't just randomly throw your tire, run it down main. It's gonna get broken, you're gonna get no value. You're not Prism.
A good window placement, immortality saving the team many, many times.
Absolutely, now they're coming into this, both sides have this beat. It'll be interesting to see which side can sustain the longest. A true testament, but the Shadow doesn't make that easy! Me 98, good god man, let them live!
What a very good play by me 98.
Honestly, I don't like the taste of coffee. It's not my favorite. And even the people that I do know that like coffee, they put so much sugar in, it almost seems nasty.
That's me. I'm that guy.
Like, it just feels unhealthy, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
And then I start thinking, right? And I'm like, well, I mean, there's got to be a sugarless way to get caffeine in my daily morning routine.
There's got to be, right?
Well, who else but Rogue Energy, right? Rogue Energy, 413 Esports on Rogue Energy for 10% off your purchase.
we are joined yet again by Down the Barrel. I'm Jump Penny. We're going into another exciting match. We have Ascent versus Catalyst. I know you guys have been waiting for this one, and we are about to go into the game. On to Ilios right now. Both teams are ready. I'm excited, Down the Barrel. How you feeling, man?
Dude, this is one of the matches I've been looking forward to most definitely. I mean, all of Nightshade's matches are kind of my favorite, but taking a look at the battle of the mid pack, taking a look at Ascent versus 413 Catalyst.
Yeah, this is really going to be a good matchup. I'm excited to see what these two teams can do against each other. We have a short pause, just a slight disconnect, and they should be right back, hopefully. It does seem to be on the side of Ascent. But again, going into Ilios, I think that's going to be really exciting because Ilios type of map, anything could happen. Teams don't necessarily play it a lot, but I think Ascent does. Ascent, I think, plays a lot because when they came up against Havoc, they picked this map too. So I have a pretty strong feeling about this. I think Ascent, maybe they've been practicing this map pretty strongly, and I think they're ready. I think they have a strong map here that they could look to take off of Catalyst. Catalyst isn't careful because they're coming in strong and certainly prepared, as we got plenty of time in between. Just waiting. I think it's Edgy coming back, so I think we are missing a support player on the side of Ascent right now. I'm excited though.
This is not what you want to be seeing from one of your teammates, but you know, the show must go on, and we will wait. Technical difficulties happen. They're a part of life. It's part of us as gamers. I mean, how many times have you just, you know, DOSed yourself out of a comp match?
Of course. You know, sometimes you think you're having fun with some Overwatch, and you forgot about that automatic Steam update that was about to start. Pretty unfortunate stuff, but it seems like we may be able to get Edgy back in here soon, hopefully, because we know these two teams are rearing to go. We know these players are ready. Ilios, again, I think what we would be looking for here, exciting if we see a ringer out from Ascent, that might actually be something kind of interesting. Change things up a little bit here, but Ilios, again, a map where we could expect maybe some Pharah, probably some Echo for sure. I would expect Catalyst probably to come out on the double bubble there, if I had to guess. We do see this. I do think Ascent would go with the double bubble on this map here. That's what I would have to guess.
Well, now we have another member of Ascent who's left the game. Not really sure what's happening to the Ascent roster, but they're just dropping like flies. But going back to what you were discussing about the compositions, yeah, especially in this particular point, well, of Ilios, you could see quite a bit of different compositions, from just kind of poking each other out, or just doing the double bubble like you said. It takes a little bit more coordination and making sure that you kind of skirt around the outskirts, because of course there's a giant hole in the middle of the map. You can't just take as much space as you want, and backing up is a little bit more dangerous. You need to be more coordinated with yes, it has verticality on this point, but it's kind of a controlled coordination. Ilios is very weird in that aspect. It's very topsy-turvy, if you will.
Yeah, this has been back and forth. Back and forth. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Even I'm lost at this point. I'm just autopiloting through this as we wait. It does seem, though, like we might have some members possibly coming back. We'll see, though. Give it some time here. As I said earlier, I think Catalyst will come out on the double bubble. I'd actually be excited to see what Ascent would run here, especially if they end up fielding a ringer to make this match happen. I believe we may want to go to a short 3-minute intermission. That intermission might be... Let's keep it. Let's stay with it. I think we got some time. Hopefully, we can get a player back shortly. But regardless, chat, your casters, we're going to be here with you. We're gonna get you through this tough time and make sure you guys have someone to talk to in the meantime, chat. How's it going, chat? How's chat been today?
Let's turn into organizational streamers, dude. Shizzy Zeus says, sometimes when I close my eyes, I can't see. Well, I share that sentiment.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've had that exact same experience.
Let's all just close our eyes and act like
Act like we're watching Overwatch. Wait here.
act like we're watching Overwatch. There
If you
you go.
guys close your eyes, me and Down the Barrel will just start casting an Overwatch game and just pretend
There you
like.
go.
All right, so Catalyst coming into the first point here, right? No, that would be great. I think.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine we could do like a short story Overwatch? That'd be awesome.
We could have chat do like a choose your own adventure Overwatch game where they get to pick the ult usage and stuff. That'd be fun. It'd be like a turn-based RTS. Twitch plays Overwatch. We're coming up with genius stuff. Honestly, we should delay games more often because we're just having genius $1 million ideas in the meantime. Frankly, it's priceless, these delays for us. I hope you guys are enjoying it just as much as we are.
All right. I'm just double checking with the teams right now. All right, we are all ready and we are going back in.
Let's go. It looks like we're going to have some Overwatch here. I am excited. Very excited. You know, when the teams have to wait, they're just so ready to go after each other. Very excited to see if we can get this match on the road.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going crazy. There we go.
All right, we're hopping into it. The teams are rearing, ready to go.
This is like more exciting than Christmas morning, dude. An actual Overwatch match.
The anticipation. I heard Santa's sleigh bells coming over right before we went back to the pause, or right out of the pause screen.
There you go. It's early
Ilios.
Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first.
Yeah, not sure how that sleigh is going to work on Ilios, but I am excited to see how these teams work out their compositions because, again, I'm saying it for the third time now. I think Catalyst might look on a double bubble for this well map, and it does seem to be that that's not at all the case, unless if they're just trolling me. They seem to be coming out on more of a brawl, Roadhog type of pick, which I think makes a little bit of sense on well. I think the Roadhog for sure makes some sense on well, but maybe they're going to swap that up. Catalyst not quite sure. They're going back and forth as it seems that the more solid, straightforward brawl team is going to slightly go towards Ascent here, running a more straightforward brawl, but with the Tracer in place of maybe a May, but it makes a bit more sense on well with that Tracer.
Or a Reaper. Just Tracer can take advantage of so many different teams here. And then looking what Catalyst is rolling out with, we have the Haunts of the Cream, which can take advantage of a lot of different angles. They're, of course, going to be fighting over the mini room. Resources go back and forth by both sides. Doesn't seem to be too crazy here, but G-General will just take Reluctance's life, and Ascent will, of course, pounce on that opportunity. The Immortality field comes out from Van and will be promptly obliterated, and Ascent will be able to take this first point after a regroup call has been called by Catalyst. What do you think about that first fight?
Yeah, Reluctance, it looked at first to be very advantageous, right? He was getting a lot of space for his team, but he just goes down. They're not able to keep him up. You know, that's something Catalyst can figure out. But I'm not quite sure who that mistake was. It's a lot of times hard to tell, right, where the actual mistake was made just because some of the guys it's their fault. Kind of like in other sports, right? You see a football thrown, it whiffs. Did the quarterback throw it wrong, or was the receiver supposed to be there instead? We don't quite know. What we do know is that the mirrors have been online, and it's Catalyst turn to push at this point with that mirror. Big shatter hits the backline, but Jake returns. That's Reluctance on the flip back shatter, and now we see the cleanup come for both teams. Neither really getting this advantage, but Han 2 kills too. Hawkshot goes down to the pulse bomb, and now it's an all-out brawl for point one that Catalyst is struggling to win despite the early picks from them. The shatter's going both ways. It was an early trade, but now it's going to be Catalyst finally looking to take back this point here.
You know, you had me there for a second. I thought you were kind of trying to do like a put 'em kind of joke there with the now it is a brawl, because that is exactly what ended up happening. Just an all-out scrapping. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the strong left rotation here from Ascent. Reluctance is going to react to it, puts himself close to the well, and they bait them into the flux a little bit with that. High Noon from Shadow catches Wizard Beast and the Lamb. Make sure no one can go down right now. They actually use the beat to push into this point. Here comes Ascent. They're going fast. They're showing aggression right now. This is huge from Ascent. They get an early pick on the Fan, and Reluctance goes down as well. Ascent is looking crazy strong out the gate right now. They used that beat and timed it perfectly with their aggression to just take the point back. I really like how Ascent looks right now. They are confident and they are aggressive.
Very true. Ascent pulling out all this, well, all the aggression, all the moves to make sure that they got the point in a good fashion. But good stall tactics coming in from Catalyst, making sure that they get the maximum percentage. The zoning dragon comes out.
AP Flower Child and Omotofu go down. Omotofu, I believe, go down to Reluctance as Rad is now down in Shadow. It's Catalyst on the point, looking to take it back around 80%, but Ascent is looking to stall for a while. Jinro goes in and is stunned and down. The mirror came out, actually, as they start to rotate around it, just taking this point. There goes the Shatter from Reluctance out, trying to catch possibly the Rhine, and the Tracer only does get the Tracer. Rhine coming in now to stall at this point longer for Ascent. Ascent is stalling this out way longer than they expected to be able to. Almost about to get it to a 99, possibly, if they do it right. Jinro is in, and he does get it to that 98%. Not quite. What do you want? But Hawkshot goes in the well. And Jinro is out as well. He's going to be able to speed boost his team back. Potentially, we could actually see Ascent be back first. Catalyst, both teams, it's a race. It's a Lucio race from spawn, and Ascent is going to win it. Catalyst still coming back because Jinro actually lived while Hawkshot was respawning. There's the grab, and the Lucio's just not getting back. The beat is too late, and it's huge from Omotofu. Big clear for Ascent here, who are looking to take the early dub on the first round of Ilios.
That was an absolutely massive aggressive grab that came out from AP Flower Child that allowed, oh, the Shatter coming in from Tofu. I'm sorry, I had to highlight that. That stopped the ball from touching the point.
Wow.
But yes, the grab coming out from AP Flower Child, which was able to cease, just stop Catalyst in their tracks, and allowed the follow-up coming in from Tofu. It was perfect. It allowed them to get the picks that they needed, that even if Catalyst was able to make it back to the point, they would have been at a sheer disadvantage.
Yeah, Ascent really playing that brawl and playing it well. Hantu on the Tracer was popping off all day long. We saw Jinru manage to stall out the point in what turned out to be very vital percentage for Ascent, and Omotofu and AP Flower Child combining with those tank ultimates were insane. Obviously, tank ultimates are the most game-changing ultimates at times. Depending, obviously, but you can just see the effect of the tanks for Ascent right now really showing up in this game. Hawkshot and Reluctance doing their best to match it, and they're doing a good job. Reluctance is now pushed in with this wall. Omotofu is separated, but they get the lamp out. That's an early lamp being forced out from Ascent. Now they're going to have to back up. Catalyst still has the lamp, and they're pushing it now. Sinos does find a pick, and that's an early fight victory, it looks like, for Ascent. Going to have to back up as Catalyst going to look to take this point, while Ascent sent back to the respawn doors to get edgy.
That's a good tempered play from both of these teams. It's very refreshing to see Tofu regrouping with their team, looking to make a good push, but the wall is botched. Wizard Beast does not find anything.
We'll see Reluctance just getting these extra little swings on the corner before backing up to avoid taking too much to see. Really good plays from Reluctance here. It's a very solid maintain plan. We knew when he get picked up. The Catalyst huge. The Maywall Shatter comes up, and I can't tell if... I think the Maywall blocked it. It didn't look like it went down in time, but it also could have been Omotofu on the Rhine as Rad goes down. Now Jinro finds another pick. Catalysts are going down, and they're forced to back to the point to try to stall it for a little bit. It's going to be hard to win this fight. They don't have ults. They do. They would rather not use them, though. Ascent strongly coming into this point after some good early picks. Yeah, hard to tell if that Maywall is what blocked it, or if...
It was definitely the Maywall. The Maywall was still up very convincingly. Whenever that Shatter was dropped. So I bet there was a little bit of miscommunication there, trying to get a surprise Shatter through the Maywall, but I just wasn't able to.
Those types of plays can be hard to execute, and we saw just seemed like a slight misstep there on the side of Catalyst, who now have the main tank grab for the enemy, and the lamp is out. Rad goes down to a pulse bomb here, though, in a high noon now from Shadow. He gets walled up. I don't know if that's what you wanted to do, but it didn't do much. The Shatter comes through now, catching a couple. That's big for Omotofu. A couple is all you need to have a game-changing Shatter, as Sino does find Edgy on the way out. Ascent are going to take the percentage advantage, and Ascent is looking really good on Ilios right now.
Ascent, and this is their pick. This is their map. This is the one they're most comfortable with, I'm sure. Catalyst looking at another chance to take this point with only half the capture percentage. Ascent does have control, but Catalyst looking to take it from them with Synox's High Noon as well as Wizard Beast's May Freeze.
now coming in Reluctance, trying to get some pressure from the air. It's gonna be huge, but it's Shatter came through. Reluctance getting stunned there. The grab now, High Noon as well. Ultimates are online for both teams, and they're all using them. Reluctance goes through the point with the pin. Omutofu counter pins, and now gonna be Catalyst with that swinging and aggressive Reinhardt. Big plays there from Reluctance and the rest of his team. We're going to be able to take this point back right when it mattered. If you didn't get it that fight, it was going to be hard to tell if you even got another if you're Catalyst. So now, we're going to look to stand strong because Ascent could be approaching last fight territory here, really. Of course, they might get one more fight with 20% to go, but yeah.
I think that if they don't take this fight, Ascent definitely has another retake. But
Yeah.
Ascent is taking it right to the point. The team's a little split, but the window will be able to find Shadow. Cynox popping off.
Catalyst clearing it up despite early picks being traded out. Yeah, Reluctance really cleans out that point for his team. And yeah, Ascent do get another fight here for sure. I was curious if Ascent had capped, if Catalyst would have gotten the other fight. But that's not even the question we're going to have to face now, as Ascent is going to get one more fight here going in. And Reluctance, notably building that Shatter, Omotoku is already there. So Reluctance is going to have a hard time swinging to get it. They wall off the grab. Wall comes down immediately, and the Immor is there, so no Immor now. Catalyst shooting to play this carefully. That's a huge Shatter. He jumps on the Shatter. And the delay of the Shatter actually gets it past the bubble, it seems like. Reluctance with a huge Shatter at the end there to give his team a map. Or a round, I should say, on Ilios now, going into the third.
Now that was a little dicey, I'd say, for both teams. Tofu with the Shatter coming into that fight wasn't able to make anything of it. Dude.
Yeah, this is really close, really back and forth, and we saw Catalyst, despite a slight struggle there, right? That wall Shatter didn't go ideally. They recovered really well, and now they're going on through a composition that I know some people, including myself, have labeled sort of an Angry Birds comp. When you have this double aerial coming out, it can be terrifying to deal with.
Yeah, but you look at Ascent pulling out Shadow on the hit scan. Gonna be pulling out the McCree, going for the traditional brawl, but might be able to swap to Widow and get some cheeky picks while both of these Angry Birds, as you say, are in the sky.
And here comes Reluctance on the ball. Getting early space or an early setup, I believe, for Reluctance. Just trying to, get set up somewhere where you can dive in, synchronize with the rest of your team. Really good play from Reluctance here. Not anything different than what I'd expect. Sino up on the high ground, just looking to have a pincer, really. It's Catalyst trying to bait Ascent into this position where they're just surrounded by every single member of their team. And Rat goes down early. Ascent finds a member that they can run on, it seems like, and regardless if they got all there, Edgy does find Rad, who gets rest down to Edgy going down. There are trades for both teams. It's really hard to tell which way this is going right now. Catalyst have the picks. Not for long. Sino goes down the Hog on the May. This is as scrappy as it gets, folks. We're back and forth, pick for pick for pick, and this fight still isn't over. On the point, AP Flower Child just trying desperately to get this far down, but when you're Farah and there's only 2 enemies on the point, oh, that's a dream, because neither one of them were hit scan characters. Really good play there, just barely clutching it out as Catalyst.
Catalyst almost lost that fight there with their team being so spread. Yes, you create that kill box, but however, in this sort of brawl comp that Ascent is running, or was running rather, if you speed onto a specific part of that composition, you can tear it apart bit by bit, just taking advantage of the immobile characters. But they are opting to trade for the double bubble, Shadow going on to the Widowmaker. Might be able to see some crazy snipes coming out. Like that one, Wizard Beast will go down, but the res will come out from Than.
And going in deep is Omotofu right now. He goes in on that Winston with his bubble, and he's just getting his ult right now. He has plenty of life to live with. He got bubble on the way in, I think. His team supporting him well, as they should, because he's been making great plays all day. It's Omotofu right now trying to just stall out this point enough to get it back to his team. Catalyst is the one stalling it out, and Than can't quite stall it enough before going down. Catalyst, though, with a very strong 46%. Ascent's coming back now. They've got some percentage of their own, and they're not going to want to give this point back up easily.
Ascent with the double hit scan pick is actually paying dividends.
That was such a far pick, right? I mean, I don't even know where that echo was, but it didn't look like they were that close to the echo.
Practically in spawn.
Wow,
Yeah,
spawn doors. And that's a big pick for Shadow on this Widow, as they've been doing for these other fights as well. Now the mine's on point for Reluctance, could be huge. You force a lot of them off the point, and with that, you find some members to target. Now here comes the Flux. Catalyst probably going to take this one back pretty easily now. Possibly an overcommit. I'm hesitant to say that, you know. You don't mind using the Flux if it can guarantee the fight, but you had some early picks. That being said, if you don't win that fight decisively early, you could give time for Ascent to start using some of their ultimates and win it. So it's better to just win it at the end of the day for Catalyst. Now going up, and the ultimate percentage reluctance barely gets out. Going to be able to give his supports a lot of ult charge here.
You know, Catalyst, I mean, if you're Catalyst right now, spending 2 tank ults in order to take a point is not, you know, it's not something that you're really too worried about. But Hantu finding Wizard Beast that is not what you want to be seeing. Tofu going in will force the trans from Rad.
Yeah, gonna force the res as well, but it actually goes scot-free. That res is all you need. The Barrage gets one, the Wizard Beast goes down to Hantu. That's Hantu in the kill feed all day long, and the Winston is angry. Hantu's down. Trying to avenge some fallen teammates is the discorded Omo Tofu, but it's not gonna be enough. Sino has some big swings. The Echo Monkey just gonna be bigger, at least in terms of the kill feed. Catalyst is looking right now to take map 1, Ascent, on their last legs.
Yeah, it's a totally stall territory here. Tofu going to be able to be the first one to touch and will trigger the overtime. It's just an absolute brawl on this point. The rally comes in from Jinro. The mines come out from Reluctance, denying any sort of touch. A Tofu could have even attempted. AP Flower Child going down.
Wow, Reluctance really big on the ball today. Showing up for his team on a character, you know, you don't see too common on this map of Ilios. It's certainly a strong one for him. Reluctance popping off with a kill from there. And with that, Catalyst is going to take map 1. But it's been a close series. Ascent did not go down easy. We got a series on our hands. Catalyst up 1-0. Don't go anywhere, guys. You don't want to miss this one. Short 3-minute intermission. We'll be right back.
welcome back to another exciting part of this series of Ascent versus 413 Catalyst. Now, we're going to be going into our favorite, the one you know, the one you love. It's going to be the one and only King's Row.
Whatever specific deity it may have been that came down into the brains of the Overwatch developers and gave them this beautiful, inspired, such a fun to play map. I just have to ask those same deities why they abandoned us when the Overwatch developers were designing 2CP. Please come back for Overwatch 2. Oh, great deities that gave us King's Row. We need you. We need you now more than ever. And that being said, we're going into an exciting King's Row between these two teams who, obviously, if we saw Ryan on Ilios well, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some Reinhardt on King's Row, or are we? Down the barrel, it looks like Catalyst. They might be baiting, but they are probably baiting at the end of the day. They're probably baiting. I'm just going to say they're probably baiting.
You know,
maybe not, though.
Maybe Genji, maybe. But the rest of it? I don't know. Caster trolling aside, dive we have seen on this point before. It didn't work out exactly as we anticipated, but it is something that is possible. It looks like Ascent will be setting up for a traditional brawl hold on this map.
There they go. And there they go onto the brawl, but... Okay, there's the Lucio. Only a few swaps to troll me in 4, but now we are on a standard brawl for Catalyst here. Holding up a little close right now. Ascent, they're up there. They get the Maywall in. And there's the counter. There's the counter for Ascent. The Rhines are swimming on each other. They trade in between these Maywalls, and now that it goes down, Omotobu's in open space. They both have to use land. They both have to back off and recover. These Rhines are very smart. They're playing conserved and smart with each other. But here comes a pinch from Catalyst. They're going through the hotel and also through main. It catches Omotobu a little bit frozen now. Me98 is going in, and that's a huge pinch. Reluctance rotating through the hotel. Perfectly timed with the rest of Catalyst. Pushing down through main. Catalyst is going to capture this first one pretty strong. They actually haven't capped it yet. They're going ahead to get these kills, and now they're going to go capture the one.
And their Baptiste is like, hey guys, we need to play the objective, and does exactly that. Someone on the team's got to do it, and of course, the smart brain support players will be able to get it.
You know, he's counting those huge brain support players coming through. The Maywall not catching much.
Maywall not catching much, definitely. And with the Maywall online for Hantu, might be able to catch somebody in this window, but it looks like Catalyst is playing it smart.
Another wall comes up just to block off the mirror, only temporarily though. There's the mirror.
Oh!
And the shatter comes through huge for Ascent. Not going to find any kills with it though, as the mirror is there for Catalyst. Catalyst committing the freeze now, and it looks like they're going to be able to turn this fight around after that huge shatter. Worth noting, maybe they did have to use more ultimates than Ascent, but they still have a lot of ultimates coming into this next fight. Ascent also used some ultimates there. That shatter not going to be online next fight, same as the mirror.
And no, taking a look at Ascent here, they have a decent ultimate bank, but just nothing to really threaten 413 Catalyst at this point in time.
Pioneers from Karstu, he gets walled up, drops behind the wall, and the other wall comes up. He's frozen now, so he has to go. He gets onto though. That Demon Bomb gets the Immor out, and there's a McCree. With the Immor up, Omotobu goes down to that McCree. Now we have a May just frozen, playing a short little main tank role right now, as we see Me98 and Reluctance. The Reluctance alone coming back. Me98 still coming back from spawn as he goes down the shadow now. It's going to be harder than it might seem to get this point. With the beat now from Ascent than it might seem, I believe I said. AP Flower Child now going down to Fan. Big pick for Catalyst. They have a slight advantage here now, as it's going to be Ascent reeling and coming back. They're just barely stalling this out down the barrel. It looks like Catalyst are going to be able to take it eventually. Yeah, they got this one.
Yeah, this is Me98. Stay on the map. Stay on the map. All right. Taking a look. The aggression doesn't stop with Catalyst. They're going to be taking all the advantages that they can. But it looks like Reluctance will go off the map. He did not have boosters.
Question mark, he says. Yeah,
What an
unfortunate death for
interesting-
Reluctance.
But Catalyst will need to stay back. They don't have a Diva to eat that Graviton Surge coming out for Ascent, and Ascent is going to take advantage of this this situation, absolutely. With the window getting a lot of value with just the time lost from Catalyst. Oh, a perfectly timed grab from Reluctance's lack of DM.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts, that grab coming through at just the right time. Good play there for Ascent now. But Catalyst is still turning Immunian off the map this time! But it was the boop. It looks like it was the boop from Jinro that actually threw Immunian off. It looks like this time the pin finally caught up to him, but he does seem to have gone off to the boop. Rad cleaning up Edgy right now as Catalyst pushing into this point. They have that beat online from Rad. Look for him to use that at a crucial moment. Karsu now with the high noon. Catalyst is backing up to bait into the high noon, it seems. The freeze is out now, and Catalyst, they slightly back up only to bait into these ultimates, and they're now throwing out at will. Catalyst coming in strong here. There's the shatter from E98 to help clean things up a little bit. There's a slight stall coming through here from Ascent. No big deal as Catalyst rolls into the third point here with a pretty nice time bank, just under 4 minutes.
Wow. A convincing take from Catalyst with all the aggression. Even with the picks that Ascent was able to find, Catalyst just regrouped, took a great tempo, played slow, and then continued their aggression. Just relentless. They started great, and they ended even more aggressive. That was a great showing of how to play Kings Row.
Yeah, really, really good Kings for 4-3 Catalyst. It's going to be on Ascent now to look to have, just as good of a push. Going to be hard, not easy, certainly, because Catalyst is a strong team, whether it's on attack or on defense now. Ascent's going to have to come up with something here. Will they go unique, or are they going to stick more to what we expect to see with a more standard brawl down the barrel? What do you think Ascent's going to be running here?
So Ascent, they could decide to run a few different things, but if Ascent normally picks exactly what they're going to be playing right at the gate, so I could see the traditional brawl coming out pretty much the same. I think it's going to be a mirror match again, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be playing it the same way as Catalyst did. And being as they are going to be taking this first point, because I am convinced that they will take this first point. It's just a matter of how.
Ascent has to use that aggression. We saw them use before, but they have to not get caught off by this Mei wall when they're using that aggression. Omotofu catches a big play there to notice Shizzy on the Mei. Notice that you're going to get walled off, and he goes and takes it with grace. Gets walled off, but he has some teammates with him, so you're not really walled off from anything at that point. Now, here comes all of Ascent. There's no all the Reluctance is out of Mech already. They're pushing Shizzy out of the hotel. They're coming toward 2 members of Ascent get frozen, and they're forced back into the hotel now. Me98's coming in. Jinro barely making it back into the hotel, and Shadow is on the off angle. Shizzy goes down to Shadow. Huge picks there. Shadow's now playing the low ground, just looking for some heads to click as Ascent has rolled this point. I think even slightly quicker than Catalyst did. They're on really good pace right now.
And no, Ascent needs to make sure that they can keep up the aggression, but they need to remember the point. They need to remember the point of the game, and that is to capture the point. And which they in fact do with 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. The wall comes out from Shizzy, not really finding anything, and Ascent will continue their aggression, trying to get any staggers if they can, but it backfire on them. Reluctance being able to find Jinro, and they are forced to retreat.
Yeah, really good players for both teams. As we said, just going in for those cleanup kills, they do get caught out with it. Now Catalyst can actually hold this library. Ascent is going to come back. Obviously, the spawn door is right there. That Maywell doesn't have a whole lot of confidence. Reluctance goes down. There goes the Shatter. He gets frozen right after using it, I believe. Omotofu goes down now, as it looks to be Catalyst taking this fight. And this is scary if you're Ascent, because Catalyst can very easily try to hold you with these archways, which are no joke. They're not easy to get through at all.
And no, it's a perfect choke point for anyone trying to push through. The cart having to go straight through it makes it even narrower. It's absolutely abysmal to push through if a team is set up in this position. However, the over-aggression could get punished by Hantu on a good flank. If the freeze comes out, Tofu will be able to charge out, tries to get walled again, but the Catalyst just convincing themselves they cannot push past this choke, which probably great tempered play. Reluctance trying to take a little bit of space. Hantu finding Than in the backline, just like I mentioned.
Hantu's crazy on these flanks all day long, just finding kills. Rad had that beat for the last fight, which would have been huge if someone from Ascent can go down as well. The bomb goes in now. They're looking to find Reluctance. He's going for that remake. There's a big shatter coming through. Does it catch enough? Big picks coming either way. There's headshots from hit scans in the game on the kill feed. Shadow and Karsu, that is Jinro, though, finding the 98 down. It's going to be Ascent starting to roll through this fight strong. That one goes the way of Ascent. Catalyst now on the point. They have the Diva just to stall. Reluctance going to go down finally, and they're going to just keep pushing this ahead in the third. Catalyst going to get at least one more fight here.
Yeah, Shadow finding really good value on this Widowmaker. Just trying to get some initial picks before the fight even starts. All of Ascent, except for, it looks like Hantu, ironically, is sitting on the cart.
Yeah, they're on the card now. Shadow, Hantu there. Hantu coming forward a little bit though. The team is reluctant, so Me98, sorry, goes in on that pin, goes down as a result. That's a very aggro pin. Unfortunately goes down as now Omotofu's pin catches Rad. Catalyst just trying to stall at this point a little bit, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. It looks like Ascent's going to push through, and Ascent is making decent time, although I believe they are now behind Catalyst's pace. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to get it in time. However, they're still making really good time here.
Absolutely. Catalyst setting up in their spawn with a perfect readiness about them. She's going to be having that Blizzard as well as Rad with the beat. A beat engage is very much possible in this instance. What does Ascent have to capitalize on? The Tofu Shatter them out, but not really finding anything. Shatter from Me98 and the Freeze, however, will find all of Ascent.
It's a big shatter differential. Me98 hits a lot bigger there. And it seems that Me98 is asking Ascent to come here on the Reinhardt. It's a good voice line. Shadow now going down just a little bit later for Reluctance. Oh, it's a good one. It's a classic. Very intimidating. Great show of dominance as Omotofu looking back to come in here and reestablish what so far has looked pretty good for Omotofu. He's had a really good game on Ryan. Not ideal, certainly. Me98 has been there all day long with his number, but the mirror coming up now from Catalyst is going to be huge. It's going to hold them back just a little bit. It's going to force Ascent into this sort of right room now, and they're in a small space, but that's good. The Diva Bomb coming out now doesn't catch anything except for Omotofu's barrier. You don't like that, though, if you're Omotofu. The remake catches the lamp as the Lucio duel goes the way of Ascent, who are starting to trade out this point, but they got to be careful. AP Flower Child no longer has a mech, and they're waiting for Omotofu to come back. Reluctance barely getting out with the mech here. Looks like they are going to get it, though. Shizzy staying alive. Again, just barely, but Reluctance now. Shizzy going to go down. And Karsu finds Hantu and AP Flower Child with that high noon. Catalyst is still holding this one.
Yeah, Catalyst making it extremely difficult. Shizzy challenging the Widow. Finally, Catalyst has something to really match that sniper aggression and still sticking to the brawl. So Karsu is now in charge of that frontline damage, and I'm sure he's taking care of it beautifully. But Ascent popping the high noon, trying to get some space, but Me98 just holds strong.
Yeah, Me98 there holds strong. A big shatter for Me98. And they're gonna almost get moved off. They just stay on. Does Ascent, the bomb comes through big though. Me98 can block that one straight up. No one on Catalyst goes down, but here's the Dragon from Catalyst. Gonna try to split some members. Shadow goes down to it. So now Ascent doesn't have a full team. Me98's in the room with them, and they're probably gonna have to back up. Rad was looking for a boot, probably didn't quite get it there.
And gets out with his life.
Yeah. Very good to be able to get back with that. Now Ascent is reeling.
Oh,
Me98 goes in and finds Jinro. Lamp forced, but it's going to be a huge play there for Catalyst.
Yeah, Catalyst is really supporting Me98, allowing him to just go to town. Oh, is he setting up for a... Oh, no.
Oh, no. The back shatter. Me98, this could be huge, but they... Do they see it? I don't think they do. That Hanzo arrow looked just too short. Oh no, it's gonna be a 6-man.
Me98.
Oh,
No!
it's a 5.
It's
The
a
bat
5.
jumps above it, and Me98, it's a huge shatter. I mean, we saw that one coming a mile away. And it was crazy how the Hanzo just barely missed it.
Me98. These people have families. Don't do it to them.
This is a travesty right now for Ascent. Not feeling too good, and the big thing is that Catalyst just want to fight with only a shatter, And now they have all these ultimates online to try to win what could even be the last fight Ascent has. Here comes the High Noon early to make some space. They speed it in. So it's going to be sending some members home. Karsu finds 2. And with only 20 seconds left, Catalyst doesn't have to use any more ultimates. Only 15 to 10 seconds going to be left. And Ascent probably not going to get a touch. Even if they do, the ultimates online for Catalyst are huge. It looks like Catalyst is about to go up 2-0 if something drastic doesn't happen here for Ascent.
No, I think it's going to be up to Jinro to touch, and he will be able to get the touch, but will it be for overtime? Yes, Shadow switching onto the Doomfist, trying to get some value. Shadow comes out from Tofu.
That's huge. It's a 4-man. They take Me98 back. The bomb catches Jinro, though. He'll be the quickest back, so that's not the worst thing ever. Rad now going down.
Shadow!
Still alive. Shadow's off the map. Shadow is off the map. And he's not going to be able to come back exactly the same time as his Lucio, so either his Lucio waits or not. And the Lucio does have to just come straight out. They can't wait for Shadow any longer. That Doomfist going to have to try to come back. They do have the High Noon here, hoping to zone Catalyst out. He's going to get on top of the point. Hantu's High Noon has to be huge, or else Catalyst is just going to roll right through. They have the Bastion out. Shizzy's on the Bastion, just rolling over the point. The lamp going down. That's going to be 398. The pin just hits a box. Zone with Tofu is swinging. This Bastion has been shooting for a long time with no picks. Shatter gets mostly blocked, all blocked by Me98, who's been making, or by almost Tofu, who's been making some big plays right now, but it's hard to keep track with all these ults. The High Noon doesn't catch anything. Ascent is staying in it for just a little bit longer. It looks like Rad gonna finally maybe go down on point. Him and Karsu are just stalling this thing out for their lives. Reluctance is here now to continue that stall just a little bit longer, and now here's Shizzy. If you're Ascent, you've got to be careful because this stall is so long. There it is. They don't get any time bank left, though, so Catalyst has a really strong advantage here.
And no, it's either a draw for both teams, or Catalyst comes out with a win.
No longer win this map.
And with the aggression that Catalyst had at the beginning, it's not looking good for Ascent.
Yeah, and while it's been slightly back and forth, Catalyst has just had the slight edge all day long. And that slight edge has started to translate into a bigger lead here. They're looking to go up 2-0. Going to be really hard for Ascent to draw this one out. Let's see if they have anything up their sleeve that can just hold and stop the time of Catalyst a little bit here.
Oh my goodness. Me98 is that flank shatter is still in my head. That was absolutely... Oh, literally.
I think we might need just a short pause here. Slight bio break for team member. Shouldn't be longer than just possibly a minute at full length, as only gives us just a few more moments to sort of discuss what we can expect to see from both teams here. I think very interestingly, Catalyst going to come out again on the brawl. The interesting part I want to say actually is what Ascent's going to run here. It looks like Shadow has sort of transitioned as this match goes on over to the Doomfist for them, which is something we've seen occasionally in contenders, even I think not as much. We've definitely seen it in contenders, maybe even in Overwatch League at times, this rush comp that features the Doomfist. And I think it could be a difference maker. The problem is Catalyst is certainly going to be ready for it. And if they have that McCree, it's going to be a hard day for Shadow to get in here. As right now we're looking to just about be ready to get back into this soon. Both teams, though, are certainly raring to go after the break we had earlier. We have just another break. These guys are well rested and just ready to get at each other.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what you said about the featuring of the Doomfist, I really do think that the Doomfist is actually the key to victory here, because getting any sort of picks that could just change the tide can just be absolutely ginormous. Doomfist is one of those heroes with a very high skill ceiling, and of course the limits are basically your knowledge of the hero.
Yeah,
and
right, that's true.
That's what makes it so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna personally be looking out to see what Shadow can do here, because they have to make a big hold or else they're going down 2-0. And have we seen a reverse sweep all tournament. I really don't think we've had it. I don't think anyone has been down 2-0 and come back to win the whole thing. I gotta be careful on that, because I could be wrong, but yeah, Ascent could be looking to do the first if they
Look
can't.
at this
defend this
aggressive positioning coming up from Shadow. He sees the entire team comp. He sees the Sim Bastion strat. He sees what's about to
He's
happen.
gonna punch it.
Oh, but
Uppercut. And his slam can't fall on it. That's actually huge. That the Doomfist slam can't go on the statue. No, that's not great for Shadow. And it looks like Catalyst is going to take map 2. Pretty strong here. Yeah, Catalyst is strong right now. Ascent has to reverse sweep it. It's the only way left. Let's see, play the game here for Catalyst. What was it at the end of the day? Shizzy. Shizzy on the May, of course. Huge freezes all day long. Another big play for Shizzy. Yet again, we're going to go to a short intermission, but before we go, I just want to remind you guys, if you haven't had that free Amazon Prime or would like to support us, it helps so much if you subscribe to the Twitch channel, subscribe to the YouTube, follow the Twitch, put the notifications on so you guys don't miss another one of these exciting matches. Don't go anywhere. For a short 3-minute intermission, we'll be right back with more Ascent versus Catalyst. Ascent looking to hit the reverse sweep button here. are back for what could possibly be the final map of the day, unless Ascent is looking to pull something out. Can they do it? They're not looking too hot right now. The thing is, they've got to change something up. I just don't think they're getting the value where they need it. They've certainly been trying some different comps. I think Catalyst has their number right now, and Ascent's going to have to look for an upset. And if they want to win this series, it'll have to be a reverse sweep. We're looking at 2-0 right now for Catalyst, so excited to see what Ascent could pull up here, because when they're backed up against the wall, maybe that's when they pull out their best strats. Let's see what Ascent has in store for Catalyst here.
Absolutely, but taking a look, Catalyst is going to be our attackers here, going into Rialto. It's a beautiful city, by the way. I love the world building.
At least in terms of looks.
Absolutely. But the potential for Ascent to hold here is really going to be off of their team play, off their coordination, and being able to maximize the effect of their heroes. I mean, it looks like they're just opting for a traditional brawl with Hantu sticking on that Hanzo instead of what you'd see as a Mei. And let's see how Catalyst responds to this brawl hold. Looks like a traditional comp match with the positioning that we're seeing coming out of here. Come on, Ascent.
Yes, and it's just they're gonna hold this first corner. Not quite taking maybe the high ground, or playing that corner. It's strong.
Oh, Jinro!
Rhino. Catalyst goes on a rotation and get cut out, but 2 are down now for Ascent. Okay, it seems like Ascent can pull this through, but they got to be careful. They just had 2 go down there. That bridge is so risky. You saw once, even after Ascent got 2 boops, 2 of their own went down, and now Catalyst is kind of getting some space here.
Yeah, Catalyst really not being punished. Really not being punished at all for that rotation, except for the Jinro boop. But the spawns are so close that was such a risky play.
Yeah, it seems like Ascent maybe overstayed their welcome on that play. 2 of their own went down with the aggro. Another split. This is interesting from Catalyst. They're actually forcing a bit of a pizza right now in the way that they've positioned it, but they've also split themselves. Wizard Beast going down now for Catalyst. Shadow finding that hole in the off angle when the teams are split. Catalyst, maybe not intentionally, ended up splitting their own team and also pincering the enemy team. Now Sino going down off that high ground. Hantu is here making some plays, getting the mech out. There's a block shatter. E98 doesn't seem to catch anything with that. Shadow does go down to the Coalescence here, and with that, Catalyst is still pushing forward another block shatter. Both teams blocking like crazy. Ults are being committed right now. For Ascent, they're committing this window, and now Hantu does find Wizard Beast. This has been such a long and drawn-out fight that is still going on down the barrel. The beat comes out now from Jinro, and they're pushing this point. There goes the Diva Bomb up in the air from Reluctance, doesn't catch anything. They're still fighting this one out. There's a big shatter from E98. Finally, Catalyst looks like they might have what they need here.
Yeah, no, Catalyst finally with that convincing shatter from E98 was able to get any last stragglers of Ascent off of their point, and Hantu being staggered into oblivion, as well as potentially these 4 members from Ascent. They're going to be spotted by Catalyst, and will they be able to make it out alive?
That is the question. Not sure if they can do it. They're hoping to, though. E98 right now on this high ground, playing for their lives. Almost Tofu also here. Both teams are holding it, but the difference is Catalyst doesn't have their Hanzos on point right now. The Dragon coming out on the side of Ascent. Give them a little bit. There's the shatter, though, hitting home big. Momo Tofu, the pin, catches Sino, and there's hammers being traded all day long. But in that room, I can't tell how they're resulting. But what is the result is that Ascent seems to be winning this team fight. They're pushing in now to Catalyst, to Ascent really.
Brad trying to 1v1 the world right now, and is having to back off, but a good valiant effort from Catalyst nonetheless. They're going to be coming into this next fight with Wizard Beast as a Dragon, as well as Rad building up some good old charge from that 1v1, and we'll be able to drop beat very, very soon. I'm taking a look at Catalyst. They need to make something with this Hanzo ult.
Yeah, let's see if they can do that here. Edgy is right behind Reluctance. There's a little Bat versus Diva duel happening for a short amount of time. Edgy gets the bubble and then comes back, goes the mirror on to Catalyst, who are going to be forced to drop from that space with that damage coming in. Now we see the Dragon coming through from Catalyst is big. It actually kind of forces up the members of Ascent here, but it's just sort of forced the fight to happen faster. Catalyst now finding they have 2 picks. They can go forward. Almost Tofu finds one as well. Picks are still being traded out here on the point. These fights are just so long and drawn out from each team. It really goes to show how careful and calculated these teams are playing. It's sort of in the favor of the defenders, but Catalyst have been pushing hard. There's another what seems to be an almost blocked shatter, it looks like. Couldn't quite tell, but these shatters, each Rhine really keeping the other honest. Huge bomb there from Reluctance.
You know, Shadow's trying to get any sort of value that he can in the backline, but will get taken out on this Genji. An interesting pick to go on to Genji in this brawl. I guess trying to match the DPS just as a comfort pick, but my goodness, Ascent going for another aggression. The high noon from Synox not going to be able to find anybody. With Meme98 finding Tofu from the charge and just swinging on the point, that might be enough to take over this point. It will be.
It does look like it's going to be now Catalyst rolling through with 3 minutes left to capture this last point. Not an easy point to capture, but not the hardest one at the same time. Ascent coming in here with a Genji blade online now for Shadow. Can he hit it big? Because we know that blade is a very important part if you're going to manage to get any value out of Genji.
Take a look at Meme98. He's going for the memes again. He hit a 3-man shatter, but at the cost of his life.
Yeah, Meme98 goes down, but it's a huge shatter, allowing this team to just push in with this coalescence now as well. They go strong, and they're going to find the picks that they need. That's a huge advantage for Catalyst. It's going to take Meme98 a second to get back, but hopefully they can get him back here in time. Yeah, he's going to be back plenty in time now. And there's a full 6 going. The Dragon, it splits. It splits Ascent right now as Catalyst is pushing in. Meme98 is here. The ultimates have to come online, so both teams are waiting right now. Meme98's in the grab, just trying to live. There's the beat, and AP Flower Child does go down. The beat from Jinro gets cut off by the bomb. Another huge bomba from Reluctance, looking to send this point home. Ascent has a point to capture, and they got to try to beat 2 minutes, or else it's going to be a hard map for them to win if they want this reverse sweep.
Score 0-3. Switching.
That was a very convincing take by Catalyst, albeit with some tomfoolery on both sides.
Yeah.
But as you were saying before, the fights are just so long and drawn out, but ultimately in favor of the attackers as the spawns just kind of favor them, even into that last point. The defense would prefer the long drawn out fights, but they have to win them, you know?
Yeah. And that being said, Ascent managed to get some time out. I mean, 2 minutes is still a lot, especially for a map like Rialto that can be really long and drawn out. Ascent making those fights last long, but I think at the end of the day, I just feel like their picks aren't quite on point enough. They have some interesting theory crafting maybe happening where they're not quite playing that standard brawl, and I think some of the time those picks could be costing.
You know, composition does make up about half the battle of Overwatch. This is true. But unfortunately, some of it just comes down to the straight execution of your plan. And there needs to be a little bit more practice, a little bit more commitment to the composition for sure. If you take a look at what Ascent is trying to throw at Catalyst right now, might actually be pretty good counter with the Ashe coming in to deal with this double aerial that again Catalyst is going to be sporting for this particular point.
Yeah, now it's Homo Tofu just pushing this card in, but Catalyst is pincering there around and surrounding, and it looks like really the Ascent has no plans to rush out any specific part of this pincer. E98 though getting grouped onto the ground is huge. It means that they can try to run on that. Reluctance goes into the backline at an ideal time. Just enough time to distract the Rhine from E98. And look, that ball distraction literally kept Me98 alive there, but it wasn't enough as now Ascent are finding picks. They're actually rolling through this really quick. This is not good for Catalyst because usually you get like 2 fights here if you play it right. You know, Catalyst, they hardly even got one. The cart pretty much stayed pushing the entire time here for Ascent. We're making really good pace right now.
Yeah, Catalyst is still going on the offensive, trying to take their point back, making sure that Ascent cannot touch. Reluctance being the only one to sit on there. And the
there
mines.
goes 98 off the map as well. Yeah, Sigma off the map, it seems like, to a pin maybe. The Anti hits big on point. That's going to be hard for Ascent to survive through. The Nano. Oh! Wizard Beast gets the Nano, but no one's on point to touch anymore. Reluctance goes down as well. And with that, Ascent are making really good time right now. Catalyst, they're not really switching things up, actually. They're going to stay pretty much on the same comp.
You know, Catalyst is committing to this comp. I'm supposing that they want to keep these ultimates online, maybe playing for those ultimates specifically, actually. Wizard Beast will find Jinro.
Big pick for Catalyst to start to get back in this one off a pick like that. The far going down is huge. Now Hantu finds Rad though. Catalyst doesn't have their Ana player. Meanwhile, it's the Lucio that's pretty much already back for Ascent. They do get that res off on the Rad though, so that's gonna be huge. You know, Rad isn't typically on the Ana here, so it's, you know, not quite the comfort pick you would like to see as Ascent coming through with picks here now. Have managed to make something happening, but there goes the copy for Sinov and he forced to retreat. Ascent getting really good push here, frankly. They're fighting off the flankers that are coming in, and they are just really kind of staggering a lot of Catalyst who are...
Mean 98?
Not only do they commit the flux, but the return beat gets committed probably because they saw the Catalyst was coming back. Mean 98 goes down, 80 Flower Child's alone on point. Right before Ascent manages to come back, regroup, and try to fight off the rest of Catalyst. Jinro is in no man's land, but managed to use that speed to get out. No, goes down right before the lamp. There's the mirror, there's the grab. You don't like to even have to use those ults of your Ascent, and now you're barely even still winning the fight. Mean 98 just hit a pin right out of spawn that clutched it out for Catalyst, who have finally found a way to hold this here. That is huge for them. It looked like Ascent should have had that all the way.
Yeah, Ascent was just on a crazy amount of momentum right now. Hantu getting value on that Widowmaker, the double hit scan coming out. It doesn't even look like Brawl needs to be played anymore as long as your DPS are getting picks, you know? Just whatever, the tanks can do whatever, the supports can do whatever, but just keep the DPS alive, Ascent.
Now the runs fighting for the space. Wizard Beast goes into the back, gonna be caught by the enemy Ash, so he's already down to half. Omotofu is low, but has Shatter online before Me98 will. Looking to hit one on these stairs, so we've seen Me98 doing the play of the game. There goes the Shatter. Me98 goes in first. He built that Shatter. Omotofu had Shatter that whole time and wasn't able to find space for it. Meanwhile, Me98 was building his and hits it home big. Yet another teamfight win for Catalyst is starting to reset the time bank back into their favor here.
Wow, Rad is an absolute menace whenever it comes to being a Reddit Lucio and taking on DPS just fearlessly. It looks like Ascent is going to be stacking up on this high ground again, going to be trying to force off Catalyst as best as they can. Tofu sitting on that Shatter.
Oh, there's Me98 finding Jinro early. Big plays for Catalyst. They go with the grab. Coalescence. Shadow finds a pick, but they're going to go down as well very shortly. Catalyst is running on that straggling member of Ascent, who are running out of resources. Now, they have some ultimates online to try to win this fight, but their time bank is down right now. Catalyst reset the momentum that Ascent had there, and now are coming in hot and ready. Like a Little Caesars pizza, dude. Here they come.
Like a Little Caesars, I like it.
Yeah, here come Ascent. And the thing is, though, ultimates are online for Catalyst as well. That High Noon's going to be big on the high ground. Expect it to pop soon, possibly. Sino's in the back line. There's the High Noon.
Oh, finding Edgy.
That's massive. He threw the lamp out before he died. And a big Shatter. Wait a minute, this could be big. Ascent could be turning this around with the Shatter like that. There's the Bob as well, just to send it home. Looks like they could possibly look to get the point, but they have to use so many ultimates to get it. Whereas Catalyst really only had to use 2 there, so you're almost even because, you know, Pulse Bomb, Shatter, those are quick building ultimates. I think it's the Bob at the end of the day. You might like to have it now. But this is looking similar to King's Row, where Ascent didn't quite have enough to get to the time bank, and then wasn't even able to finish, barely finished capping before overtime. Ascent have to be careful not put themselves in that same situation.
Ascent just needs to keep up their momentum. They can do it. They can absolutely push this one through. The window does come out from Edgy with the shatter from Mean98. Not going to be able to keep any follow-up from Catalyst. Wizard Beast alone in the backline. He's going to use Wraith Form to try to get out, but will get taken out. That is not what you want to be seeing right now if you're Catalyst. Steinok's getting caught out. Reluctance having to use the boosters to get away. Catalyst is on a full retreat.
Yeah, they are. Ascent pushing strong. Now Catalyst has that beat Coalescence online. They're definitely going to want to use it. This year, Reluctance is out of the Diva mech. So really that only value... Oh, the Me98, he did get that beat. The grab comes in time, and Ofu, Homo Tofu shatters it. That's a huge grab shatter combo coming through. For Ascent, they still look strong here to push this in. No OT for them. They want to get it in with plenty left so they can rival what Catalyst was doing. Under a minute, I believe, though. They do go just under a minute.
Wow. So it'll be a minute for Ascent and 2 minutes and 4 seconds for Catalyst. Again, Ascent will be on the offense. Oh my goodness, are they going to run the same thing? It looks like they found their rhythm with the... With their DPS that they chosen at the end, with the Ashe and Hantu being on that Tracer. Maybe they just found something that works for them. Maybe they finally found their comfort picks.
It's almost surprising because with Ashe Tracer, you're probably thinking more of a double bubble comp, right? But
right,
yeah, these guys are doing Ashe Tracer in this brawl, and it's working out really well for them. You know, maybe the map leans into that a little bit as well, but really interesting to see his DPS come up in a brawl like this.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it looks like in response to the brawl, Catalyst is responding with their own brawl. Midnight Mare, however, playing the Moira instead of the Baptiste, and that could be a lot of sustain that's lost. However, with only a minute, Moira is actually a decent pick. Being able to get her ultimate online very quickly could change the fight.
Change the fight it could, and change the fight I believe it will. Hantu now is on this Bastion in sort of a desperation strat for Ascent, looking to get plenty of push here and catch Catalyst off guard, not knowing how to react. So Hantu's going to be able to set up on the point here, gets a bubble early. You know, Catalyst obviously puts the back out there, adjusting to the fact that there's a Bastion who gets Me98 early. Hantu goes down as well. The team's trading out picks right now. Who is this in favor of? Ascent has these spawns right there. It should be in theirs without a main tank. Catalyst is going to really struggle here. They have to back up and wait for Me98 to get back.
Yeah, but Ascent is now one of their DPS, and if Wizard Beast can hit a good wall, which wasn't successful yet.
They were effectively down one, but Hantu got back just in time. Me98 goes down. And now Zarya's on the back line pushing Hantu. Does he see it? Does he see it? No, he goes down. The coalescence and all that is too much. No, the Shadow doesn't catch anything. Shadow found a pick, but the thing is, there's only 3 Catalyst members alive, only 2 for Ascent, and Catalyst comes back quicker. Ascent only going to get to that first corner, it looks like, which is going to make things a little easy for Catalyst here, considering they have double the time. Ascent has to try to pull something out if they want to keep this series going.
Oof. This is stressful. My heartbeat is going way up right now. I might need a pacemaker, man. This is... I don't know. Both of these teams finally finding their grooves near the end of the series, or at least how to counter one another, and it's so close. But with Catalyst's great defense, it is not looking good again for Ascent.
Yeah, Ascent is in trouble. They've kind of been there all day long. It's been hard for them. They're playing sort of from behind. And that's because Catalyst has looked really strong here. They really have. They've played a great game so far. They're up right now, and they're looking to take the series 3-0. If Ascent doesn't pull something out, they're actually looking to go Ascent onto a double bubble here. The Bastion, the Zen, the Baptiste, the Ashe, Sigma, and Orisa versus what's going to be probably a standard brawl comp with maybe some slight variation here, it looks like, from Catalyst.
Yeah, and it looked like Ascent is going to be taking advantage of this double shield in order to take this high ground very convincingly and just rain down damage upon Catalyst.
5, 4.
There goes that shield up for Omo Tofu. He's gonna have that respawn on, or the shield ability back a little earlier. Now, as it's gonna be Catalyst trying to come out left of spawn, they're gonna go on that same rotation that resulted in a very interesting play last time. Reluctance tries to stay on the point. He's getting spammed out though. It's not gonna be easy. I don't think Reluctance can live here. Oh, Sino goes down though to Hantu, and Reluctance goes down as well. Ascent is starting off early, but B98 just got that pin on the Hantu, which is actually an insane play for Catalyst. That pick gives them spawn advantage. That's like an unbelievably good play to make in a lost fight, but down goes Rad. Hantu might have enough time to get
Falls
back.
off the map.
Just, yeah, it doesn't look like they can really quite push this advantage. Now as Me98 gets shotgunned off the map. And Ascent is doing great here. Catalyst have to put something together. They don't even have a lot of ult charge right now.
This is an absolute clown fiesta. Edgy's going to be coming up onto that window, which is going to make that Bastion even more frightening. Shadow coming up 80% to Bob. Midnightmare, the closest one.
Rad is
Or-
on. I don't know if
where's
you guys
Rad?
can see Rad right now. He's all the way in the back line. He barely got around. He's managed to flank behind the entire enemy team and just get forgotten about. Here he comes with a boop, and it works. No, Shadow boops himself back up, and Rad goes down on the second way through. And look at Catalyst just waiting right now on this rotation. They're stuck with no Lucio.
30 seconds remaining.
Oh no, Catalyst is in the room. They're just waiting for Rad to come back. They know they have some ultimates online. The problem is Ascent does too, and I'm not sure if Catalyst can break through it. They're doing the right thing. They're rotating to this high ground. They're going to try to send Me98 there to take it. Onto's on the Bastion. Uh-oh. Double shield is starting to fall apart, but they have so much damage in the Me98 who goes down. Onto's down. There comes the Transcendence Regenero. Maybe just a few moments too late, though. You would love to be able to save the Bastion. Wizard Beast, though, going down. So does Jinro. This is as scrappy as it gets. Either team could still win here. The spawns are close. Closer for Catalyst, though, is the Orisa. Omo Tofu is just spamming out here. They can back up. They can give space. They don't actually need to fight right now because there's still a lot of room to go for Catalyst, who are now in overtime. They're forcing out their rotations, forcing out ultimates, and they actually catch Ryan in that flux. That is huge. The high noon from Sino might just be huger. I believe that is the right word. The Me98 Shatter does get blocked. Hantu has this Bastion ultimate. He's going crazy. He's getting it all blocked by the enemy tanks, who are having to use a lot of resources to slow this guy down. Sino's in the back line, but no high noon. Cease your resistance. That's huge. Omo Tofu. Members are falling for Catalyst down the barrel. This series is not over yet. Oh, Edgy goes down.
To Edgy from Reluctance. The Fire Strike
Definitely
finding
not over.
so much value in Drew Omotofu and AP Flower Child. What even ultimates are coming up? Jinro coming up on just using that cold to try to do as much damage as possible. The sustain is insane.
Catalyst could win this. That would be insane. They were so down, they've managed to get 6 because Ascent never pushed those final members to clear them out. But now Catalyst is
Another tank configuration coming up from Hunter.
No
No bomb.
Big Shatter. 2 are down for no way Catalyst does this. They're pulling it back right now. Hantu is having to back out. 2 are down on the side of Ascent. And it looks like Catalyst have done it. Wow. What a clutch for Havoc. That was ridiculous that they managed to win that. What a turnaround. I have no words. It looked like Ascent was going to extend the series. I literally thought it was over. You can tell by how I called it. Wow. Really great pay
Wow.
as Ascent doesn't manage to clear out those last members. They never killed the 2 that were left on point.
Wow.
I mean, they had a
I am
chance.
left speechless, and I'm the caster. I should have nothing but words, but I am at a loss. That was a little scrappy, a little tense, but man, they pulled it out.
That was a good game all around. Ascent looked right at the enemy, pulling it back. It was so close on control. That last map was... Wow, that last map was a lot, wasn't it? It was just so much. I mean, what a ridiculous last map. And the crazy thing right now, we have to try to pick an MVP for
We have to
Catalyst.
pick an MVP.
It's really hard. I mean, I I'm
Now
thinking.
think about the entire series, right?
Right.
Um,
Okay. I'm going there. I'm with you.
you know, I just through the versatility that's gone through in their lineups and what's been kind of a mainstay through this particular series. I feel like Reluctance with his ability to change between not only ball but main tank to off tank, just the overall versatility of this man is quite astounding. I don't know. What do you feel, Jump Penny?
I'm gonna have to agree. Reluctance was versatile, consistent, and consistent at the same time, which is hard to do when you're swapping heroes like that. Reluctance really had a great game all around, and he is our MVP. We're gonna be bringing him up shortly for this interview once he is ready. I'm gonna get him in here. Really, really good game. Again, like you said, the versatility and the consistency from Reluctance are what really nailed it for me. Very shortly, I'm gonna drag him up here, Red Barrel. If you have any words for him as we get him up here.
Yeah, most definitely.
Here he comes. Welcome,
Oh.
welcome. Reluctance. You had a great game today. It was a hard MVP pick. It really was. With how long it was, frankly, after that last map, our brains were so melted that we hardly remembered what had happened before that. But what we do remember is that you were in for the whole game, and you were versatile, right? Swapping through a plethora of heroes to be able to help your team, and you stayed consistent on all those heroes. What's kind of the secret to your success? How do you stay so consistent on such a variety of heroes throughout a game like that?
Well, I try to play the game a lot more now. I've finished high school, so really I've just been kind of grinding the game and trying out all these new heroes, and I've expanded my roster, and now I'm able to play whatever the team needs and when they need it.
Clearly, it showed today. I mean, your consistency clearly pulled your team through. Do you think you could try to summarize that last map? I mean, what was that? You guys, first off, it was so back and forth. So many crazy things were happening the whole time. But what really got me was at the end when it seemed like you guys were lost in overtime. You guys were able to live on the point that whole time and actually pull that last fight back in a fight that we thought was going to extend the series out a little bit. How were you guys feeling right there when you had like 2 people alive on the point versus 6, and it
Yeah,
was
so right
overtime?
there, Rad and I actually called it. We're like, oh, that's it, you know.
Right.
But
So did
then I
I.
was like, wait, it's not over. And a big shout out to Eric and Mare there. I don't know how, but it was a 2v6, and they just managed to stay alive on point the entire time. So kudos to them for keeping our match alive there. That was really good on them.
It was stunning. We were amazed at the turnaround. Down the barrel, any questions for Reluctance before we let him get back to celebrate with his team today?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do want to highlight your ability to swap between off tank, main tank, just like you said, whatever your team needs at the time. I'm sure they appreciate the flexibility in order to say, hey, we need this dealt with. Well, then give Y hero to Reluctance. He'll be able to take care of it. I'm sure that that's a great feeling to have. My thing is what was going through your comms on King's Row whenever you were trying that Bastion strat on the last part. Is that something that's been thoroughly practiced?
So before Catalyst was Catalyst, when we were like Oasis White, way back in the Oasis server, we would practice that comp a lot. So some of the OGs of the team had that strategy down, and I believe Catalyst has done it a few times, but it was never actually practiced. We just wanted to figure out a way to do something quick, so our strategy was let's try this out. Maybe we can catch Ascent off guard, but if it doesn't work out, since we have a 4-minute time bank, we'll just swap to Grav Drag and Nano Blade and just play for win conditions.
Very good. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Just give it a life, and if it doesn't work, you have the time bank in order to build those ultimates up to get that victory. Very well done. thank you, sir, for your interview, and please go enjoy this win with your team. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
GG's, man. All right, there he goes. Back to celebrate with the team. They had a great game today. It got a little scary at the end, right? We could have seen that series turn around. Ascent certainly played great, but Catalyst are able to take it. We had 2 3-0s today. Dominant performances from 2 different teams. And, you know, other teams with going to be sent home with some stuff to learn, come back stronger next week, hopefully. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow because we have some very exciting matches there down the barrel coming up. I know we have Havoc and Potatoes, I believe, and I know there's another match, Catalyst and New Haven Varsity tomorrow, right?
Correct. Yeah, we're going to be taking a look, and the stream is going to start at 8 p.m. EST, just like it always does. And so, with that being said, I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah,
I think that's a wrap.
We are good to go. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Like we've been saying, make sure if you can support us with a subscription on Twitch, that would be great. It obviously helps out so much. But if not, feel free to follow us. Hit the notifications on YouTube and Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube where these VODs go up, especially after they get cleared off of Twitch after a little bit. If you want to see how any of these exciting matches went, there are so many great matches on the YouTube that I would highly recommend you guys check out if you like competitive Overwatch and great casters, of course. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. Jump Honey and Down the Barrel. 413 CS is signing out. We had a great game today. GG's, guys. See you later. Alright, everybody, welcome back. 4-3 CS. We have another exciting match. I'm Jump Penny with my partner Hawkshaw here. Very excited, guys.
Yeah, the nanos are pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was here now, I'd probably kiss him.
Oh yeah, of course.
Those ultimates were built faster than someone would get canceled on Twitter for saying K-pop sucks. That was a scrappy fight if I've ever seen one.
Here we go. MJ Reyes is maybe reporting in Gen Chat that he's drinking a 2-liter. Here we go.
Indeed, what's going on?
Not much is going on. I know that what's about to be going on is a very exciting match between 2 of the top teams as far as the standings are concerned. How do you guys feel about Nightshade going in this matchup?
We're not too concerned. We're hoping for a quick 3-0 because I got a date with the suspect's mother after this at around let's see, 9 o'clock. So Eastern time. So I'm hoping for a quick 3-0. So I gotta catch this date. I'm taking her to. She's a classy girl, so she wants to go to Longhorns.
Oh, making the great escape through the mini room and being back with his team to again keep doing up the DPS. Shadow comes in, but is blocked by their own wall from Edgy. Unfortunate.
And they do it again. MJ Reyes. Look who's closer to Shatter. Look who's closer to Shatter. It's MJ Reyes. CQ1 has some ground to cover here.
And don't forget, from what we saw last time, this is a defensive team. I don't know what it is, but they're just better on the defense than they are on the offense.
Oh, he can't stop! Somebody!
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, of course that barrage is going to be online too very soon, but then the only support ult that we're going to see, it'll be interesting to see what kind of difference that can make as the high noon comes out immediately. There's the grab, there's the window, there's the immortality field, but the barrage is huge, gets up 5K! Oh my god!
What a huge play by Icy there, cleaning up the rest of the team through a grab and a window and an immortality.
Your ranked games. Don't just randomly throw your tire, run it down main. It's gonna get broken. You're gonna get no value. You're not Prism.
A good window placement, immortality saving the team many, many times.
Absolutely. Now they're coming into this. Both sides have this beat. It'll be interesting to see which side can sustain the longest. A true testament, but the
Oh
shadow
my
doesn't make that
God.
easy. Me 98. Good God, man. Let them live.
What a very good play by Me 98.
Honestly, I don't like the taste of coffee. It's not my favorite. And even the people that I do know that like coffee, they put so much sugar in, it almost seems nasty.
That's me. I'm that guy.
Like, it just feels unhealthy, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
And then I start thinking, right? And I'm like, well, I mean, there's got to be a sugarless way to get